So this is another video update on 12th Sunday, May. So it's only been 1 week since last week's video, but it feels a bit weird to do 1 week videos because I'm starting to do 2 weeks and 3 weeks and last time a month video. So it's pretty weird coming back to doing 1 week videos. But nevertheless, I'm doing it because this week a lot has happened and I can't wait to show you guys on how it's done. Just a quick sort of talk on what has been happening. It's been like I think I started developing this game seriously since last December, so it's now May now, so it's almost been 6 months. And throughout this 6 months of working on this, even though there's been a lot of progress in here and there, I was never really happy with the game. I didn't really see how I can end the game or which direction it's supposed to head in. I tried to make this an endless game, and it's really hard to make it endless and interesting at the same time. And then I tried to do everything else, like having a score based on score system, based on time system, what really makes this game interesting. And for basically the last 6 months, I never really knew how to actually finish up the game. And so I never was happy until last week when I finally had an epiphany, and I spent all that week, this week, working on it, and for once I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I can finally confirm the game idea. So pretty cool. Anyways, let's see what's happening so far. So what's been happening this week? So first of all, you'll probably notice the user interface has been redesigned. So we're now fully using NGUI interface, and what it does is it makes everything become one draw call. Previously I had a score, I had a time, I had stuff all over. It's using many draw calls, but now it's only using one draw call, fully optimized hopefully for the game. We got this nice little dynamic time system here. So dynamic as in it's changing. It changes as in it's gonna go yellow in a sec to represent halfway, and then it's gonna go red to represent warning. So, and there's also this nice minute and seconds timer. I've actually never made a minutes and seconds timer, so making this was quite interesting as well. Even though it's probably simple, but it was interesting. And then we got this new feature here, which was the epiphany of last week, the orb system. I said it was a star system, but now it's an orb system. So what is this all about? We'll have a look in a sec. Otherwise, you'll probably notice I've removed the blue neon rings as well. Working for a mobile game, the #1 rule is don't use too much transparency. And I was using 42 textures of those transparency blue circles, and that's basically breaking all the rules. So I tried to remove it and see how it improves performance, and I need to find a replacement on how to not use transparency on the surface. But anyways, let's play the game. So right now the game is, if I tap on orbs, at the moment I only got yellow lantern orbs, so I'm just gonna tap on it. The aim of this game now is to tap 7 of them. So if I tap 7 of them,
excellent.
Alright, it now spawns this orb, and the aim is collect this orb, and I get 1 orb. And of course the aim of the game now is to collect 4 orbs to win the game. Previously, people really didn't get the game. I've always expected people to make cool combos. If you tap 7 of them, I even made that mad do re mi fa so to indicate that hey, you're making cool combos. But people never really got it. They just kept tapping away, not knowing there is a combo. But now, hopefully with this orb system, you have to create a combo in order to get the orb. And once you get the orb, then you can beat the game. Right? So if I just quickly collect the orb now. Okay, and I got 3 orbs now. And here we go before the time runs out.
Orbs.
Oh,
Clear.
And behold, I have cleared the level. So this is the new ending panel. But basically, if you collect all the 4 orbs or all the orbs, then you'll get a star rating. So, depending on how much you collect within the time limit, if you get all of it, you'll get 3 stars, and if you get some of it, you'll get 2 stars and 1 star, and so forth. So it's a fully workable star system based on how many orbs you collect. And previously in last week's video, I mentioned that the game is now going to be level based, and so hopefully these small incremental levels where basically I just set a number of criterias of how many orbs to collect, and if you collect them you get stars. Apparently that's a pretty solid formula going right now for mobile games. It just friggin' works. And then, for example, Candy Crush, the most recent hype game, it just does that all day and it just works so well. So sort of got some ideas from that. But yeah, now we got this new star system. It's going to be awesome. And then later on we'll have this replay button, go back to the main menu and go to the next level sort of thing. So now what I can do is I can now start spamming levels. And one word that I sort of just fully realized today is the word modular. I always hear this a lot when people make games. It's like, oh, it's modular design. Modular design. So what is modular design? And I sort of have some sort of interpretation of it, I guess. And basically the game is now set up to be modular in the fact that you can now just change some settings here and it's going to affect the game. So let's say, for example, I can set the yellow requirement to, let's say, for example, 6. Right? Now the game needs 6 orbs to win. You can even set other requirements. I've got all these different color orbs. It talks about 1 star requirement. I need to collect 1 orb. 2 stars, I need to collect 3 orbs. And then to get the full 3 stars, I need to collect 4 orbs. So I can set everything now and fully just crank out many levels, so to say. And then I got this minutes here, so I can type in 1 minute and 10 seconds or 0 seconds, and then it's gonna adjust the whole game for me. So now if I just quickly do it again, let's make it real quick. Let's go for a 0 minute and let's say 15-second game. And this aim is to require 3 yellow orbs, and basically 1 star I get 1, 2 star I get 2, and 3 star I get all 3. And hopefully if I do that now, I press play, the whole game is now set. Right? And so let's try to get some stars. So 1, 2. I have to tap on 7 for these lantern guys to hear an orb. And oh crap, I'm running out of time. Okay, anyways, so now I've got times up, right? And because I've only managed to collect 1 out of 3 orbs, I only get 1 star. And hopefully, the player will play again in order to aim to get 3 stars. So fully working star system, all sounded up and stuff, and I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, and now the game is very modular-ish, so we can just make changes to anything. So I've made a second level just to sort of test it out. So this time what I do is, if we press play, we now introduce the red orb. So consider the first one, that level 1 was level 1. And now each level I can crank up the number, or I can incrementally introduce a new type of virus to make it interesting. So here we go. Now the red virus is blue as well, and you get these red orbs. Okay? And so now I'm going to get 5 each. I can set up the time to last longer. I can do this. The aim of the red viruses is to collect in a row. So it's going to chain 5 in a row. Previously, people just tap. And then let's say this Lone Ranger here, this red guy, I just tap him. Just tap him and like, yeah, whatever. And just keep tapping without really having much thought of strategy or anything. But now, you have to think about, or hopefully anyway, how can we make sure that we always get 5 orbs or like chain to 5 people. So let me try to clear it because it's a bit too much right now. But let's say, for example, here, if I tap on these 2 guys, they're not gonna give me any orbs, and I just wasted that combo. I've got 4 red guys here. If I just randomly blind that's not going to produce any orbs. And because that's not happening, I'm not going to win the game, even though I got 5 already. But let's say here I got 4 now. I got these 4 viruses here.
Whoa.
That's not going to be 5, and that's not going to get me any orbs. So hopefully this way, the player will now be a bit more wiser on what they tap to sort of make sure that, okay, I'm going to need to save up some red guys. And so, yeah, based on a lot of players previously where they just sort of randomly tap anywhere for no reason. Now you have to make sure you don't tap them. Like, let's say if I tap this red guy here, I tap these red guys, and there's no effect. I'm not seeing any red orbs in it. I'm not getting 5 in a row. And if you just randomly tap, then you're gonna fail the game because you're not creating orbs. And the aim is to I'm gonna lose this game. Too much
Crazy.
And let's have a look at that. Let me just time's up. So now time's up, and let's see what I've got so far. And boom, it does a nice sort of counting system as well. So depending on what orbs are available, it's gonna count, and then boom, I get 2 stars out of 3. Right? And of course, later on, it gets much more complex with the green virus. You need to make sure you chain the green virus, and then the blue virus, you need to make sure you don't just randomly tap it, but you need to like sort of gather them in a pack of 6 and then blow them up one all in a go in order to get that orb in order to beat that game. And so hopefully this would be the final direction the game is heading on. And with that, yeah, now I can just start massing levels. I've got 5 viruses to play with, plus typing in how many orbs to collect. I should be able to cram out, let's say, at least 10 levels before it starts getting a bit repetitive, and then move on from there. And 10 levels is lasting much longer than previously, where it was just an endless game that didn't really go anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's been happening this week. And so now the game has a much more clearer direction, and I'm finally moving towards the final phases of the game, which is actually just cranking out more levels. And once I have that level, once I have that main menu to select the levels, it's pretty much towards the final stage of the game and just polish. So that's it. Thank you.